All right. Good afternoon, football fans. Big Al here on this Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. And welcome to another look at the college football rankings from both the Associated Press and the AFCA coaches poll entering week 2 of the season. Week 1 was bananas as 4 top 10 teams fell in week 1, including the number 1 team in the country. Well, now the former number 1 team in the country. Will tell you where they fell in just a bit. So there is a major shakeup in both the AP and coaches polls entering week number 2, especially in the top 10. And then one team in particular who were not ranked in the preseason polls are now ranked in both, and I'll tell you where they are shortly. Okay, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and get notified every time I go live, and off we go with the week 2 college football polls, starting off in the Associated Press, where, if you missed the spoiler, there's a new number 1 team in the country, and that is the reigning defending national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking the number 1 spot with a 1-0 record and 1,636 points. They, of course, defeated then number 1 Texas 14-7 in Columbus. This week they'll host Grambling. And again, I'll tell you where the Longhorns landed shortly. The Penn State Nittany Lions hold steady at number 2 at a 1-0 record and 1,558 points plus 7 first place votes. They took care of business against Nevada last week, 46-11. Now they'll host Florida International. Ohio State, I don't think I mentioned this, they have 55 first place votes. The biggest jump within the top 25, or at least tied for it, is the LSU Tigers, jumping 6 spots to number 3. They have a 1-0 record with 1,514 points and 3 first place votes. It was Tiger on Tiger crime on Saturday night as the LSU Tigers defeated the Clemson Tigers 17-10. Their defense looks spectacular, by the way. This week, they will play host to Louisiana Tech. Little in-state matchup for them in Baton Rouge this week. Moving up 1 spot to number 4 are the Georgia Bulldogs. 1-0 record, 1,410 points. They blew away Marshall 45-7, and this week they will host FCS school Austin Peay. The Miami Hurricanes are up 5 spots to number 5 with a 1-0 record and 1,360 points after defeating then 6th ranked Notre Dame 27-24. This week they'll host a cupcake in Bethune-Cookman. The Oregon Ducks are up 1 spot to number 6. 1-0 record, 1,302 points. They won against Montana State 59-13. And this week they'll host Oklahoma State at Autzen Stadium this week. Alright, last week's number 1, the Texas Longhorns, took a 6-point drop to number 7. 0-1 record, 1,293 points after losing at Ohio State 14-7. They'll try to get back on track this week when they host San Jose State down in Austin. Also taking a drop are the Clemson Tigers, falling 4 spots to number 8. 0-1 record, 1,135 points after their 17-10 home loss to LSU. They will host Troy in week 2. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, we just talked about them. They fell 3 spots to number 9, 0-1 record and 1,068 points. They'll have an extra week to heal from the Miami loss 27-24 on Sunday night, as they are off this week. Moving into the top 10, at number 10 are the South Carolina Gamecocks. 1-0 record, 882 points. They defeated Virginia Tech 24-11, and this week they will host South Carolina State. Moving up 1 spot to number 11, the Illinois Fighting Illini. 1-0 record, 855 points. They blew away Western Illinois 52-3, and this week they will travel down to Durham to face the Duke Blue Devils. Dropping 1 spot to number 12 and pretty much changing places with Illinois are the Arizona State Sun Devils. 1-0 record, 850 points. They moved down despite beating Northern Arizona 38-19. They will face the Mississippi State Bulldogs in Starkville this week. Up 2 spots to number 13 are the Florida Gators. 1-0 record, 737 points. They shut out Long Island University 55-0. And this week they'll host the South Florida Bulls. The first of 2 newcomers in the AP this week are the Florida State Seminoles, in at number 14. 1-0 record, 705 points. They, of course, dismantled then 8th ranked Alabama 31-17. This week they play host to East Texas A&M. Like Arizona State, Michigan also moved down. The Wolverines fell 1 spot to number 15, 1-0 record, 686 points, despite beating New Mexico 34-17 in Bryce Underwood's debut with the Michigan Wolverines. This week, they have a tough one against number 18 Oklahoma under the lights in Norman on Saturday night. Iowa State is tied for the biggest jump in the AP poll, moving up 6 spots to number 16. The Cyclones are 2-0 with 566 points. They blasted South Dakota 55-7, and this week the Cyclones will host their in-state rivals, the Iowa Hawkeyes. The SMU Mustangs are the 3rd team in this week's AP poll to drop despite winning. They come in at number 17 after moving down 1 spot. They are 1-0 with 561 points. They did beat East Texas A&M 42-13, and this week they'll host the Baylor Bears. Unchanged at number 18 are the aforementioned Oklahoma Sooners. 1-0 record, 519 points. Took care of business against Illinois State 35-3. And this week they will host number 15 Michigan. And Oklahoma alum Sharon Moore back in Norman this week. The coach's Wolverines against the Sooners. Also unchanged at number 19 are the Texas A&M Aggies. 1-0 record, 424 points. They beat UTSA 42-24, and this week they will welcome Utah State to College Station this week. Up 1 spot to number 20, the Ole Miss Runnin' Rebels. 1-0 record, 383 points. They beat down Georgia State 63-7, and they'll open SEC play on Saturday at Kentucky. The biggest drop in the AP poll this week is the Alabama Crimson Tide, tumbling down 13 spots to number 21. 0-1 record with 360 points. They, of course, lost in Tallahassee to Florida State 31-17. And this week they'll host UL Monroe. The Tennessee Volunteers are up 2 spots to number 22, 1-0 record, 339 points. They dominated Syracuse 45-26. This week they host East Tennessee State. Down 3 spots to number 23 are the Indiana Hoosiers. 1-0 record, 257 points. They beat Old Dominion 27-14, but still moved down because of it. Now they'll host a Kennesaw State team who took Wake Forest down to the wire last week. Down a spot to number 24 are the Texas Tech Red Raiders. 1-0 record and 247 points. They dispatched Arkansas Pine Bluff 67-7, and this week they'll host the Max Kent State Golden Flashes. The second newcomer, and at number 25, are the Utah Utes. 1-0 record, 227 points. They went into the Rose Bowl and destroyed UCLA 43-10. This week they'll have their home opener against Cal Poly. Dropping from the rankings this week are the Kansas State Wildcats at numbers who were formerly number 17. They are off to an 0-2 start. And the Boise State Broncos from number 25, who got dominated on Friday night of last week. Others receiving votes include BYU with 102 points, Auburn with 94, Georgia Tech 67, USC 64, Louisville 59, TCU 49, Missouri 42, South Florida 25, Tulane 18, Nebraska 13, Kansas State 7, UNLV, Liberty, James Madison, and Duke each with 4 points. And then you have Navy, Virginia, Baylor, Memphis, and Pittsburgh all getting 2 points. So that's the week 2 AP poll. Now let's move on to the AFCA coaches poll for week number 2. And just like in the Associated Press, you have 2 Big Ten teams at the top, with Ohio State at number 1 moving up a spot, 1-0 record, 1,666 points. And Penn State at number 2, 1-0 record with 1,574 points. Ohio State has 59 first place votes in the coaches poll, while Penn State has 6. Number 3, also up a spot from last week, is Georgia. 1-0 record, 1,518 points. The LSU Tigers. Looks like they have the biggest jump within the coaches poll, and they do. They're up 5 spots to number 4. 1-0 record, 1,469 points, and 1 first place vote. Oregon moves up 2 spots to number 5, 1-0 record, 1,381 points. Texas, previously number 1, fell 5 spots to number 6, 0-1 record, 1,339 points. Up 3 spots to number 7 is Miami, 1-0 record, 1,304 points. Dropping 2 spots to 8 are the Clemson Tigers at 0-1 and 1,067 points. Notre Dame is down 4 spots to number 9, 0-1 record, 1,038 points. Arizona State moves up 1 spot to crack the top 10 with a 1-0 record at 957 points. Up 2 spots to number 11 is South Carolina, 1-0 record, 915 points, just ahead of Illinois, who remained unchanged at number 12, with a 1-0 record and 909 points. Michigan moved up 1 spot to number 13, 1-0 record, 725 points. Then you have Ole Miss at number 14, also up 1 spot, 1-0 record, 668 points. Florida moves up a couple to number 15, 1-0 record, 638 points. SMU stays the same at number 16, 1-0 record, 602 points. Tennessee is up a spot to number 17 at 1-0 and 563 points. Iowa State moves up 3 spots to number 18 going into their matchup with in-state rival Iowa. They are 2-0 with 518 points. Florida State is one of 2 newcomers into this week's coaches poll, coming in at number 19. 1-0 record, 491 points. That's after their upset win over Alabama. And speaking of the Alabama Crimson Tide, they also have the biggest drop in the coaches poll, falling 12 spots to number 20. 0-1 record, 390 points. Indiana is down a couple spots to number 21, 1-0 record, 369 points. Texas A&M following suit, dropping a spot to number 22, 1-0 record, 363 points. Texas Tech is at number 23, moving up 1 spot, 1-0 record, and 253 points. Oklahoma is the other newcomer at number 24, 1-0 record, 251 points. And the BYU Cougars are down 2 spots to number 25. 1-0 record, 163 points. That's despite a 69-0 shutout win over Portland State. This week they will host Stanford. So it's the same 2 teams that fell out of the coaches poll also fell out of the AP. Kansas State previously at number 20 in the coaches poll, and Boise State at 25. Others receiving votes include Utah at 117, Louisville 95, Missouri 88, Kansas State 79, Tulane 45, USC 41, Auburn also with 41, TCU 33, Iowa 23. You've got Navy and Georgia Tech each with 17. Nebraska 13, Memphis 11, South Florida 9, Duke 5, Kansas 4, Washington 3, Vanderbilt 2, and Florida International with 1 point. And those are the Week 2 college football polls after a wild Week 1 of the 2025 season, where we saw 4 top 10 teams in both polls lose. All right. I'm still waiting on the Week 2 college football television schedule. I hope to have that out either tonight or tomorrow whenever 506 Sports releases that. So stay tuned for the Week 2 college football television schedule and the announcers for every game coming up this week. That'll be coming soon. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.